I'm Charlie Anteby. I'm here with the Charlie in the Morning Show. I want to wish everybody a happy and healthy New Year, and thank you. Welcome to the show. Welcome to tuning in and to being part of our audience, the illustrious audience of the Charlie in the Morning Show. Thank you. How you doing? You know, we talk about New Year's Eve, and brings a lot of mumbo jumbo, a lot of mixed thoughts that I want to try and cover a little bit. Memories, the old time stuff that deserves to be documented, at least in this format, if none other. New Year's Eve, a lot of people think about hangovers and getting drunk and champagne and all that sort of stuff, and for some reason that reminds me of a place on Delancey Street called Ratner's. Ratner's was an institution in New York City that always deserves to be remembered for its greatness, if not mediocrity. I don't know, mediocrity. There was something about Ratner's. I was drawn to this place. I was really drawn to it. Split pea soup, the onion soup. They had unbelievable omelets and beautiful onion rolls, and a lot of delicious stuff. If you just wanted a bowl of split pea soup with maybe a tuna sandwich on rye bread and a little lettuce and tomato, and you wanted it nice and clean, maybe with a lemon wedge on the side and some French fried potatoes or mashed. They were very good for their mashed potatoes. Ratner's was a place that could do that. You could depend on them. It would come out nice and clean. It wasn't the cheapest. If you wanted a hot chocolate with a little whipped cream in it, delicious. Great place for a cold day like this. Between the hot soups and the hot chocolates and the nice coffee and the beautiful breakfast, you walked out, you felt secure. Comfort food at its best. Clean, kosher, delicious. Kosher, I don't know. It was a dairy restaurant called Ratner's. They sold blintzes. I don't know if they needed hashgacha or not in those days for a dairy restaurant. We ate there. It was very, very good. That was Delancey right before Rivington. They say that if you have a hangover, you want to eat onions. So maybe that's why it was so good. Those onion rolls with the butter or the cream cheese called Ratner's. They still, I think, have a packaged product. Maybe it's a license. They have Ratner's soups in some of these stores. We finished off a last episode about how our money gets wasted, gets destroyed, gets whatever you want to call it. I got notes here. It says, what's with the making the interest on mortgages deductible? Could somebody tell me? That is lobbying at its worst between the real estate industry, the mortgage broker industry, the banking industry. They made everything they can tilted to their favor so that in order for people to buy homes, I don't understand it, frankly. You know, today we can't understand extracting it. We can't take it back because it would plummet the industry. How do you sell your house tomorrow morning for the same $500,000 you want if all of a sudden the interest is no longer deductible on the mortgage for the buyer? How do you do it? But you want to know something? Why was it ever deductible? And we should take it back. Now, to take it back is to punish every homeowner in America because you're devaluing the property. You're devaluing what they already own and what they think it's worth today. You feeling me? Yeah? Maybe we should make my rent deductible. Why don't we do that? I mean, what the heck is that? Why am I, as Joe taxpayer, paying for you to buy a house? I don't get it. I really don't get it. Okay. Okay, we talked about that. Let's go to the next one, education. I, who don't have any kids, not going to the public school system, should get a tax benefit, right? Instead, what are we doing? We're giving the guy with the kid the tax deduction, and we're educating his kid. I should educate his kid. Did I tell him to have the kid? There's something broken about the system. Why? Because the system was geared to, where am I going to get the most votes? Not where am I going to achieve fairness and justice in the system. Well, now today we're finding out that the threshold of 50%, one person per household, has been broken. There's more homes in the New York area with one person in them than there are with multiple people in them. So all of a sudden, does it make so much sense to appease voters by allowing to pay for the education? If I own a home, my property taxes are paying for your education. My income taxes, my federal, all my tax payments are paying for your kid to be educated. Pay for your own kid to be educated. I'm not benefiting from your kid being educated. But the system is broken. That's number two. I should be getting the deduction every year for not having kids, for not taxing the system, for not taxing the Board of Education. And because we're generating all this automatic money for the system, look how much it's being misused, misappropriated, and inefficiently run. Something very wrong here. If you made the parents pay for their kids' education, and they stood there and they want to see what they're getting for their money, it may get a little bit pushy, shovey, a little bit contentious, but at least we'll get some results from the Board of Education that are better than the results we're getting now. You wouldn't have some teacher standing on tenure that we owe them and we can't fire them and so on and so forth. Meanwhile, they're texting pornography to our children in their off hours. That you wouldn't have. That teacher be assassinated by the end of the first night. Thank you. Let's talk about the stock market, the next one. I have been a believer for many, many years now that too much money is chasing too few stocks. That's where all this corruption is coming from. That's where the $1 billion bonuses and the lighting of the cigars with the $100 bills is coming from. The barrier of entry to allowing outside investor money in a form that is a structured form into companies to invest in those companies. The model is broken. The barrier of entry apparently is too high. The critical mass is too high. I need too many accountants. I need too many lawyers to set myself up as a company to take your money as an investment. So there's not a lot of companies doing it. There's a couple of thousand companies. There's gazillions of dollars out there. These companies, if you take the price of the stock times the amount of shares, and you look at what you're paying for the company, and you look at what you're divided into. Oh, Mabruk, thank you so much. I own 1/1000th of IBM today for my $2,000. Oh, Charlie, Mabruk, how nice. Okay, what'd you pay for IBM? I paid $111. I paid $118. I don't know the number. I haven't been following it for a long time. But no, I paid $792 trillion for the company. For my 1/1000th share, I paid proportionately. But what did you pay for the company? We wouldn't buy any of these companies if we were looking at the full price that we were paying for it. The whole system is brought up to deceive us as the investor, steal our money, and allow the people to take that money and do whatever they want with it. All bad, good examples of what's going on out there. Okay. State of California came out with a report. They said the ecology is getting killed by all the oil changes. And everybody is putting forth a message that says change your oil, 9 minutes we're at, every 3,000 miles. They now realize that any car that's 2, 3, 4 years old, change your oil every 7,000, every 10,000 miles. I'll go to 6. And I started immediately going to 6. I don't change after 3 no more. Why I got to spend all that extra money? Okay? How about the gas guzzlers that they put on the road to support our economy? I won't even get into that one. It's too complicated. Cigarettes and health insurance, the protection of the tobacco industry in exchange for the taxes that they pay to the government. We're selling our people's lives. I'm Charlie Anteby. I'm running out of time. I didn't want to run out of time. I had other good stuff to discuss. Let me go very quickly on the birthday report. January 1st, we missed it. Happy Zabidi, Louis Jerome, Eli Ashkenazi, and Solomon Batesh. January 2nd, Jamie Dweck, 1982, he was born. January 3rd, Alex Ajmi, Razy Levine, and Stephen Stills. Stephen Stills, that's the musician, Crosby, Stills, Nash. Born in 1945. January 4th, Margie Sasson, Sherry Cass, David Sasson, the uncle of Margie, Robin Moyal, Rocky Antoki, and Charlie in the Morning Anteby. Tune in again. We miss you. We love you. I didn't even want the show to be this long. I'm at 10 and a half minutes. Thank you.